Okay, so we're joined right now by Cullen Motsinger of the Texas Lutheran Baseball team. The Bulldogs just won the 2021 SCAC championship yesterday in Cleburne in a wild day of baseball, defeating Trinity 9-8 in the first. I mean, losing to Trinity 9-8 in the first game of the championship finals round, and then defeating Trinity in 10 innings, 16-15 up there at the Depot at Cleburne Station in Cleburne, Texas. And Cullen Motsinger, the Bulldogs center fielder, joins us today. And Cullen, what has this morning been like? What's been your thoughts this morning after a night's rest after winning that championship yesterday?
It's still pretty surreal. I think it was a hard-fought game from both sides, back and forth. Just trying to get a run, trying to get more runs, and so I think for us, it was good. I mean, moving forward, I think we can get better off of it, and I think today I'm pretty sore.
Well, in that first game, the bases are loaded, and you triple down the right field line. You round second, you head to third, you slide into third. And when you slid into third, we're watching you. It didn't seem like anything was abnormal. When did you notice that something was not right?
So of course my adrenaline's going. I just hit a triple, base clearing triple. And I looked down, I kind of had blood dripping off my hand, and I was like, oh, that's not good. And I kind of rolled over my arm to look over, and I was like, oh, that's really not good. So I told the athletic trainers about it, and I think from there we realized that I needed to go to the ER and get some stitches.
So we were looking down at you. We thought maybe there were some turf burns, and all of a sudden there seemed to be like about 6 people working on you, and we started to realize that this may be a little serious than just some turf burns. So you're getting worked on the field. And when do they make the realization that you need to go to the hospital?
I think it was pretty immediate. I think the reason I was down there so long is they were trying to stop the bleeding before they moved me anywhere. I got a little dizzy immediately after, like looking at the wound, but the main problem was just stopping the bleeding. So I think that's part of the reason I was staying there so long.
And so people understand, you're sliding in head first. Arms first into the bag. Your left arm is extended toward the outside of the third base bag, and inadvertently the cleat of the Trinity third baseman catches you and cuts you down your forearm, right? Your underside of your forearm.
Yes,
Is that where it was?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a good sport about it. Obviously, he never mean to do that to anyone, but he came up and said sorry immediately after, but it's just one of those unfortunate events that happens playing the game.
Now, I'm good friends with your former head coach, Greg Burnett. So Greg and I were texting, and so we lose the first game, and Greg's like, I hope Mike can play this next game. And I said, I hope so too. And he said, if he goes, Mike is tough, he's going to play. I know he's going to play. And so you go to the ER. What they treat you, and how many stitches did you get? And I understand that might have stitches on the outside and stitches on the inside. Is that correct?
Right. Yes. It was cut down all the way to the muscle. And so he put 3 stitches inside to protect my muscle, and then 10 stitches on the outside to sew it back together. But yeah, it was pretty good.
So what did the doctor tell you? He said, no, you're done, or do you have to convince him, or you say
no? So I went in there and
your parents are with you?
Well, excuse me. At first they wouldn't allow him back there. And then eventually, my mom came back there and was back there with me. I didn't have my phone. So I turned on the game while I was sitting there getting sewed back together. But yeah, the doctor pretty much said, I don't see any way how you couldn't play. I asked him like, hey, what is the possibility of me playing? And he said, It's up to you. And I was like, so there's 100% chance I'm playing. And so from there, I knew I was going to come back and play. I'm glad it worked out.
So you come back, you make it back to the game. The first game is still going on, correct? I thought we saw you in the dugout.
Yes.
So you were at the hospital maybe what, 45 minutes, less than that?
Yep. Yeah, they did a good job getting me in and out. I kind of pushed them along to speed it up. They were good sports about it. they understood where I was coming from and why I wanted to get back.
So you get into the second game, and do you have to do any sort of lobbying with your head coach, Rick Hines, to get into the game? Or was the more lobbying with athletic training to get you into the game? Or was there no lobbying at all?
It was, I went after the first game ended, I grabbed my bat, went to the cage and hit, see how it felt. I threw, I caught, everything felt normal. So I think from there I had full strength. There was no big deal about it. Our athletic trainer, did some tests to make sure I still had full strength. It worked out. And then from there, it's just whether or not he wants to put me in the lineup, and I'm glad he did. So
what was that first at bat like? Stepping in, you bat 2 in the order. You're the second batter in the TLU lineup traditionally, and you were in this last game. What was that stepping in like, and what were your feelings like? Maybe not knowing. Like you said, you took some you were hitting in the cage, but what was it like stepping in that first time?
I think it was just a little bit different. My arms a little bit like bulkier now, and so I think it kind of maybe threw me off a little bit, but I think I kind of bounced back from that first AB throughout the game. So I think I started to feel more comfortable as the game went on.
First at bat, remind us, what did you do in that first at bat? You remember?
I struck out swinging that at bat. Yeah.
I can swing it. But what happened? If I'm remembering the box score correctly, and I don't have it right in front of me, but you ended up with 4 hits. I think.
Yes, I went 4 for 6.
4 for 6 with 13 stitches in your arm, and playing a huge role in the Bulldogs win. You guys were down 14-9 in the 8th inning, and take us through what was going on in the dugout as that 8th inning was happening, and what you saw and what were part of in that 8th inning.
I think anybody that watched the game can realize this team is not full of a bunch of quitters. I mean, we play every game to the last inning, to the last out, and I think that showed in that game. I think even when we're down, we're never really out. I think we have a tremendous lineup that can do anything anywhere in the lineup. So I think it just proved to everyone that we're a really good team.
What were your emotions when you take the lead? You score 6 runs in the 8th. You take a 1-run lead over Trinity, and then take us to the emotions of those last innings with Blade Strelsick on the mound, and then the last out. What was that emotion like for you guys? You're a senior. You've been to the World Series. You've been to the 2018 World Series. You were a key reserve on that team, so you know what it's like to see big moments, and you've played in conference championship finals before. But what was that last few outs like for you?
I mean, Blade's a dog. I think he came out 3 times, and you've seen Trinity twice. The more you see a pitcher as a hitter, the more you should be comfortable. Blade did an excellent job coming in and shutting the door on him. And I think, motion's running high. When you get that last out, everything kind of blacks out from there. It was just a surreal moment.
Now, I watched the video a couple times, a couple different angles of the dog pile. You were cautious on the dog pile, and wisely so. You kind of stayed on the edge, not wanting to damage that arm any further.
Yeah, so I might have had some local anesthesia at the beginning of the game. That kind of wore off. So towards the end of the game, I started to feel a little bit more. I became a little bit more cautious. I don't think diving in head first into a pile, with my arm is in stitches, fresh stitches, is not very good. So I guess I wanted to celebrate. That's how I celebrated, just kind of around the edge, just putting my hands up. So
How do you feel today, and how do you think you'll feel going forward?
I'll be perfect moving forward. I'm only going to get more healthier. I think from there, I just continue to play the game.
So you guys were in Cleburne. Texas Lutheran's graduation was Saturday here at Bulldog Stadium in Seguin. You and some of your teammates graduated and received not only your bachelor's in business administration, but you also received your master's degree in accountancy. And what was that? What's that program? What do those degrees mean to you at this point?
I mean, there's life beyond baseball, so I think having that degree and having those degrees is extremely important. And I'm fortunate enough to have a job right out of college at a PwC auditing or a accounting firm.
You still there, Cullen? I may have lost
I
you.
think having those degrees is important. Because yep.
Yeah, you're back. Sorry about it. I cut you off. Go ahead.
So yeah, I just think having those degrees is important. Having that job right out of college, because like I said, there's more life beyond baseball. So thank goodness all I have to worry about is baseball now. Officially graduated, like you said. So from here on out, it's just baseball.
Now, I'm looking at your apartment there. Is that off-campus apartment? You live in off-campus?
I'm in an off-campus house. Yes, sir.
And let's see, who are you? Are you with Austin and Caleb?
I'm rooming with the 1, and 3 in our lineup. Yes, sir. Austin and Caleb Molly.
So we just need Collie over there, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, huh?
Yes, sir.
So I know a lot of teams are very close, and baseball's no different. But what is this this brotherhood of this baseball team meant to you, particularly this year as a senior leader, and in one got to be one of the strangest years ever to play in a COVID year, and to not even know you might not get to play, and to be able to do it and now win a championship. How special does that feel?
It's everything. It's everything you work for, right? Everything you do throughout the year, even with the precautions you have to take with COVID. So, I mean, we get tested, once every 2 weeks to make sure we have our team split in half. We have Group A, Group B, and they'll test, and then Group B will test. So there's just a bunch of rules that we had to follow, and I think, with that on top of going out there every day and working hard, perfecting our craft, I think all that mixed together just culminates to a great feeling of winning the conference championship.
Well, Cullen, I know you're probably sore and tired. It's been a crazy few days, but we thank you for spending time with us, and congratulations on the championship. Congratulations on graduating, and we're so proud of you guys, and we can't wait to see you in the regional coming up in the next couple of weeks at a site to be determined. But maybe you and I will get to take another prop plane over Mount Rainier again. Cullen and I got to ride in a plane together because of a travel situation at the last regional. And that's really the first time I got a chance to meet you. We rode in a prop plane from Spokane, Washington to Seattle, and then Seattle to Austin. And we got you back to Seguin somehow. So I'll always remember that.
Thank you again for that.
Yeah, my wife picked us up at the airport late in the night, and we got you back to Seguin, and that was a neat time in TLU baseball history, winning that Spokane regional and going to the World Series in Appleton. The World Series now is in Iowa, and the Bulldogs will have a chance to do that, to get back to a World Series by winning a regional, which will take place in a couple of weeks, again at a site to be determined. So Cullen, best of luck to you guys. We're so proud of you, and thanks for talking with me today.
Thank you for having me.